Well, we hope that this Christmas is bringing you lots and lots of joy, lots and lots of laughter, and lots of love from wherever you are watching us in Kenya and of course around the world. This is KBC Prime Edition coming to you on the 25th day of Christmas, the year of the Lord 2023. Good evening. My name is Mboya with the news, and it begins right now. Thank you all once again for joining us on this live broadcast. Our sign language interpreter tonight, this Christmas Day, the 25th of December, is Lensa Odingo. Our socials, if you want to interact with us, send us any message that you have, is at KBC Channel 1. And let's swing and begin this live broadcast with our lead story. Christians faithful congregating at various churches to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ with a message of sharing, with the less fortunate taking center stage. At the Holy Family Basilica here in Nairobi, Kenya, the Archbishop of Nairobi, Philip Anyolo, emphasizing the need for generosity, even as he pointed out that the need to embrace family values is extremely important. His counterpart in Mombasa, Martin Kivuva, also clarifying tonight that the Pope's message on blessings in reference to the same-sex message was taken out of context. That report opens our coverage this Christmas evening.
Songs of joy and praise celebrating the birth of Jesus rent the air the Holy Family Basilica in Nairobi. As hundreds of congregants showed up for the Holy Mass. The Archbishop of Nairobi, Philip Anyolo, in tow, with a number of priests, will preach the homily, reminding Christians the importance of Christmas.
So may it be that Jesus Christ, being born, will find a place in your heart and in your homes and in all the places where you commune yourselves to celebrate. By the power of the...
Anyolo would further urge Christians across the world not to forget the less fortunate and follow traffic rules.
We are one, a nation. We are all Kenyans. The ones who are suffering, who are hungry, we are also suffering like that. So let us ask that this moment will provide an occasion of more charitable activities amongst us and our families. I want to encourage our travelers to take note that even along the paths and the roads they are traveling, they are not alone. So take care of one another. Be mindful of one another.
The Archbishop clarified on the Pope's message on same-sex marriage.
That one, Pope, is also not for them, but he invites everybody to rethink about his relationship and his identity and his dignity before God together with one another. He doesn't at one time or another encourage and allow homosexuality and all other things. And as the church stands, it has been always like that. So we remain like that, supporting the Pope and supporting the teachings of the church. The church in Kenya is quite together.
The same message was echoed by the Archbishop of Mombasa, Martin Kivuva, saying the Pope was misunderstood.
Kenyans, be relaxed, chapeni maisha yenu, iweni watu wa kusikia na kuamua ni yapi mema ya kufanya. Pia kumbuka nyinyi wote ni watu wazima mnaoenda makanisa mbalimbali. I've not heard one church katika yale zile nazodili nazo, hata Waislamu ana Wahindu wanaounga mkono jambo hili, sijasikia. bado sijasikia. Kama wako hapo inue mikono. Anybody for ndoa za pamoja? Hakuna?
Msiweze kubariki watu wote wawili ambao wanakuja wanasema ati wao ni familia. Yani wanaume wawili. Akija kwako mwambie apotelee mbali.
In Nandi County, faithfuls flocked the CTM Church in Kapsabet Town for Christmas church service. Bishop Agri Omkunga calling the church to complement government's effort in the fight against drugs and substance abuse.
We tend to work with the stakeholders to help our young people, especially this season and even the season ahead of us. And also, as the school opens, our prayer is that to get our inroads to schools.
I want the church to partner in fighting the illicit brew and drug abuse. It is killing our young people, and this is the conversation we must have.
Christmas is marked every 25th of December to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. Christmas always heralds the spirit of love, kindness, and sharing. As we continue to celebrate Christmas, I personally and KBC do wish you a Merry Christmas filled with love and joy. Serafina Robi for Prime Edition from the Holy Family Basilica.
Well, Uhuru Park grounds played host to hundreds of city residents who were out to celebrate Christmas. Visitors at the park said that they opted for the public recreational facility. Why? To cut down on their costs. Alvin Kaunda was at the park and brings us that story.
Children accompanied by their parents from various directions of the central business district snaked their way into the park. The destination, the newly renovated Uhuru Park. The free entry also an incentive. Indeed, there are all indications that today, Christmas, is an important day in the calendar of events.
Usafiri imekuwa ngumu kidogo, sasa huku ndio imekuwa ndio karibu. Na tukaamua tuje na jamii ili tuweze kufurahia pamoja.
Nimeona watu wengi hawajasafiri kama miaka iliyopita ambayo imepita. Ni kulingana na hii hali ya ngumu ya maisha ilivyo.
Nothing is being left to chance in this facility. Security is at its best, and the grounds did not disappoint. Children had a wide variety to choose from the grounds, with different picnic sites and facilities kept those who came here busy. It was also a moment to capture memories. The park offered much-needed bonding time for the tens of families.
Vile imetengeneza huku, imerembesha vizuri sana pia, na tunajifunza mambo mengi yenye imeweza kuweka huku ndani. So ni jambo muhimu sana ambalo limetufanya sisi tuweze kutokea huku nje.
As the festive season enters fever pitch, businessmen at the park have no regrets.
Uchumi ni ngumu. Even 20 bob is very hard for someone to remove. So we pray things change, ikuwe mzuri. Watu wako lakini kuna kazi. So it is just a matter of straining hard. At least we make some ends meet.
Indeed, today was a day worth living for child or parent. Despite most Kenyans complaining of the hard economic times, they say Christmas comes as a distraction for them, staying optimistic for a better next year. Reporting for KBC Channel 1, I'm Alvin Kaunda.
Let's now take you to Mombasa, where residents there thronged several entertainment joints across the coastal town to mark Christmas Day. Despite the overwhelming turnout, traders reported low sales, by the way. Mombasa Governor Abdul Swamad Nasir, who toured the beach, appealed to locals and tourists visiting the city to adhere to observe safety precautions to avert tragedies. Juni Karisa has the details.
On Monday afternoon, the majestic Mama Ngina waterfront displayed an array of the rich coastal culture as it hosted the Mombasa International Festival. Traders mounted their stands to reap in profits as locals hurried through to experience the Christmas festivities.
Though kumekuwa na challenges kidogo za life, lakini nimeenjoy. Nashukuru sana siku ya leo. Na wishia watu wote wa Kenya wote Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Nimefurahia sana siku hii ya leo, siku ya Krismasi, kuwaleta watoto wajumuike pamoja na wenzao. Hii imekuwa siku ya kufana sana.
The elated mood was however not shared by the vendors who lamented on losses.
Watu wamefurahia Christmas, watu ni wengi lakini pesa hakuna.
Tunashukuru mama ngine imetengenezwa vizuri. Mandhari ni mazuri, kila kitu ni kizuri, lakini biashara ndio iko chini kabisa. Yaani kwa ufupi pesa ndio hakuna.
Miles away in Nyali constituency at the Mamba Village Luna Park, the mood was similar as locals scrambled for games and swings for their young ones.
Tumekuja hapa Mamba Village na watoto wamejibamba na pia sisi tumefurahia sana.
Mambo kidogo ni magumu, lakini hivyo hivyo tunashukuru at least kutoka na familia kama hivi kuja kutuambia, basi ni furaha zaidi.
Afadhali kidogo tukilinganisha na mwaka uliopita. Leo naona wateja wamejaribu kuja kiasi.
It was a clear blue sky along the coastal stretch as beach lovers basked in the sun while others waddled through the salty waters as they enjoyed the warm breeze of the Indian Ocean.
Many locals here are hopeful that perhaps next year the cost of living may not weigh heavily on them as it did this year.
Youths watuangalie mambo ya job tumekuwa na problem.
Japokuwa uchumi umekuwa mbaya, lakini kile kidogo unachopata uweze kukiweka akiba ili kutunza watoto wetu.
Punguza vitu angalau biashara vipande juu, manake biashara viko chini.
Labda uchumi utakuwa umefufuka kabisa ili tuweze kupata biashara at least kiasi zaidi ya hapa. Maana mwaka huu umekuwa chini,
basi mwaka huu mwaka wa baraka na mwaka wa fanaka. At least pia wengine mambo mazuri kama hivi watoto waende shule. Manake sasa mambo mengi gharama ya shule ndio inakuwa ni tatizo zaidi.
Meanwhile, Mombasa Governor Abdul Swamad Nasir conducted a spot check on the laid-down safety regulations enforced by the maritime fraternity to ensure tragedies are averted during the festivities, particularly along the beaches. Juni Karisambele from Mombasa County.
Let's cross over now to the lakeside city of Kisumu. Street families in Kisumu city were treated to a lunch by the Kisumu Central Member of Parliament, Joshua Oron. The street families had a rare treat, picking from a variety of dishes here and there. This gave way to entertainment. Wycliffe Okech was there and filed this report.
The lakeside city was abuzz with activities, a clear indication of departure from the norm. To set the mood, the city's administration had on Christmas Eve lit the governor's Christmas tree in a colorful ceremony that was punctuated with local jams.
For now, I take this opportunity to welcome the people of Kisumu to the Week Key Festival.
And today, right within the Kisumu CBD, the usually forgotten lot were guests courtesy of the area member of parliament, Dr. Joshua Oron.
Tumeshukuru sana Mheshimiwa Oron, ametufanyia kitu kubwa kwa manjoria wote wenye wana makoa, at least ametuleta pamoja. Hadi tumefeel yani tuko na familia pia, si wanatujali.
Tunampongeza azidi na asilose hope.
Tumeshukuru sana yenyewe kusai kupata ajab na salad na ni kitu kingine noma.
Will we have enough for everybody?
We have more than enough for everybody. It is not only the street kids that are going to benefit.
Both guests and the host enjoyed one another's company.
These street children, this is the only way they will get a hot meal today. Majority of them depends on well-wishers. The bulk of the shops or the hotels where they benefit are today closed.
The disc jockey, popularly christened as DJ, was busy ensuring all parties present were happy. The area MP said the gesture will be replicated come New Year. For the Channel 1, I am Wycliffe Okech.
Moving on swiftly, several mothers welcomed Christmas babies in various hospitals countrywide. The new mother said that their bundles of joy would not have come at a better time, a day when Christians commemorate the birth of their Savior, Jesus Christ.
At Pumwani Maternity Hospital, Nairobi, amidst the festive cheers, the hospital witnessed an abundance of joy as mothers welcomed their newborns on Christmas Day. Mary Wamboi delivered her firstborn, a baby boy, Denzel, at 12:04 a.m. She describes the moment as fulfilling.
I feel proud kwa kwanza nilipata hiyo 25
nilikuwa overwhelmed. Kama nilikuwa nimechoka. Mtoto anaitwa Denzel Munio.
Esther Wanjiko in the other room could not hide her excitement. To her, the new bundle of blessing, baby Rosemary, could not have come at a better time.
I gave birth at Pumwani Hospital on the 25th, of which it's a privilege to me to give birth on such a date because it's like a lucky day for me. I gave birth at exactly 10. My baby's name is Rosemary and I'm happy to have her in my life.
According to the nurse manager at the newborn unit, Nurse Nyakina Orina, the delivery process was smooth with all mothers and babies doing well.
The first one delivered at 12:04, a baby boy. The second one delivered at 12:10 a.m., a baby girl. Then the other one delivered at 12:37 a.m., a baby boy. And they are well with their babies in the postnatal ward.
We celebrate each one of them. Not everyone, of course, could have delivered at that particular time. And I'm happy that all our babies today who have been reviewed, who are delivered overnight, and their mothers all are stable and are going home today.
The same joy reverberated in Kakamega Referral Hospital after 12 babies were born on Christmas Day.
Nashukuru Mungu kwa kunipa mtoto kijana ambaye nilimpata saa 6 usiku, ambaye anaitwa Emmanuel kwa sasa. Ameniongezea kwa wasichana wawili ambao nimekuwa nao. Waje nimshukuru, niko na furaha kubwa.
Currently in the facility we have had 12 mothers who have delivered. 3 of them delivered at midnight. That is 1 boy and 2 girls were delivered at midnight ya kuamkia Christmas. So we are still getting patients who are we still have around 8 of them are waiting to deliver today.
Area Women Representative Elsie Mohanda visited the new mothers and showered them gifts.
Hapa Kakamega Hospital tuna furaha kwa maana tumepata watoto 12 na ndani tumepata pia mapacha. Kwa hivyo ni furaha sana na ndio nimekuja nikawatembelea na mazawadi kidogo ya Christmas.
In the midst of the festive season, these mothers are not only embracing the magic of Christmas, but also cherishing the extraordinary gift of motherhood. Jacqueline Masharia for Prime Edition.
Christmas baby stories brings us to a fast break on this 25th day of Christmas. We're taking a short break. But coming up, we move deeper into the second part of this live broadcast. Stay with us.
Unangoja nini? Namna ya kucheza Lucky Game sasa imerahisishwa. Dial *570# na 31st of December magari haya mawili na mtangaza mshindi. Ni rahisi. *570#.
Kwenye ulimwengu wa sasa, taaluma za mikono zina umaarufu mwingi. Jiunge na Sensei Institute of Technology tukupe ujuzi na uzoefu wa kushughulikia ulimwengu. Tunafunza taaluma kama plant operator, plant mechanics, kuendesha gari na trailer, kuweka CCTV na alarm, kuweka solar, kuweka stima, motorcycle, motor vehicle mechanics na electronics, teknolojia ujenzi wa mijengo, ujenzi wa barabara na mabwawa, hospitality na taaluma nyinginezo. Kujiunga nasi, beba kitambulisho chako na utembelee tawi letu lolote. Sensei College. My skills, my future.
KBC Channel 1 magazine programs strive to disseminate news and information.
Welcome to Happening in the World of Entertainment
and achievements of individuals navigating through life.
Be part of the intelligent conversation. Upper KBC Channel 1.
Related to the interests of Kenyan public on various subjects of national importance.
Basi karibu tujifunze.
Giving you up to date with the latest tech news,
challenges, and remarkable stories of individuals with disabilities.
and you have a say.
Our magazine programs empower communities with words for conversations and a common language to approach the world.
For your infotainment needs, we have a great range of programs.
Welcome back, our socials at KBC Channel 1. Let's move on with this live broadcast. Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has emphasized the importance of investing in peace amidst the tough situation that's facing parts of the globe. Speaking at a Friends Quakers church in Vihiga, where he joined faithful during a Christmas service, Mudavadi said that global leaders ought to respect God and the law, setting the foundation for peace as well. Mudavadi said that part of the prevailing economic hardships in the country can be attributed to global conflicts. The Prime Cabinet Secretary assured Kenyans that the economy is on the right course.
We should never take peace for granted. We should never take peace for granted. And to sustain peace, we must respect God, and then we must respect the law. And then we do things in accordance with the will of God and in accordance with the law. If we do that, then we are laying the foundation for peace, not only in our country, not only in our region, but globally. So one of the big things we must all seek is to pray that peace prevails, reason prevails, so that those people who are fighting and creating instability can move away from that, and then we get together.
Na mimi nataka kuwauliza watu wa Vihiga na watu wa Western Province, viongozi wakishachaguliwa, mnakuwa mmewapea uwezo mkubwa wa kuona maneno hamwezi ona nyinyi pale muko. Mmewapea uwezo ukubwa wa kukutana na watu hamwezi kukutana na wao, na mmepea uwezo ukubwa wa kupata rasilimali yenye inaweza kuwaletea. Kwa hivyo kiongozi akija kuambia twende barabara hii, naomba nyinyi watu wa Western Province.
Now, the opposition leader Raila Amolo Odinga has called for more consultations in addressing the country's economic challenges. While decrying the prevailing economic times, Odinga said that expert advice should be sought to help to improve the country's economy. He said that opportunities should be created for more consultations on the best way to run the country. Odinga said that as Kenyans prepare to usher in the new year 2024, there is need to unite, come together and face prevailing challenges from a common front. He made those remarks while attending church at St. Peter's Nyamira SK Church in Bondo constituency during a Christmas service where he was accompanied by his wife, Ida Odinga, and Siaya Governor James Agre Bob Orengo. He at the same time added that it will be very difficult to improve the economy through heavy taxation, hence the need for consultation for better options.
If you raise too much taxes, people will tend to evade paying the taxes. In the end, you end up with less. So that unfortunately, you don't have people who understand proper economics. That's why things are where they are. So me, I just want to say, Lord forgive them because they do not know what they are doing. But let us focus on what can unite our people.
Now, as most families mark the festive season with their loved ones, some are celebrating without their spouses, others, no parents. There are those who don't have brothers, sisters, and friends. But most loved ones serve the nation in essential services, including security sector, the media, and healthcare services. Frederick Parsayo had a conversation with journalists at the public broadcaster who were on duty on the 25th day of December. And this is the report that he has filed.
As Kenyans celebrate this year's Christmas with their loved ones, members of the Fourth Estate have to contend with being on duty as in other essential services. They have to make do with the company of one another and give Christmas meaning. For now, this is the family they know and have to share and celebrate with them. They have to keep the nation informed on a 24-hour basis.
It's a time when most people are at home with their families, but as a journalist, you have to take that sacrifice and stay so that you inform Kenyans. The ones that are home expect news, and that news is brought by us, so we cannot go off air.
They are at the back and call of all Nakada and the night raids, NTSA, and traffic updates, politicians giving donations, some leading to stampedes, and you at home seeking to be updated through all media. Youthful journalists giving their view on working on this day.
Baada ya siku pia aliye nyumbani anataka kujua ni nini ambacho kinaendelea humu nchini. Kama tutajiunga na wao, basi watakosa.
On whether they are working on this day by choice,
our colleagues who need to celebrate Christmas for their sake, we decide to be here so that as they are home with their families, we get to bring the news to the rest of the Kenyans. And then once that period comes to an end, they'll be back here and the rest of us can go and celebrate the New Year festivities.
After all this done and said, journalists also belong to be with their families at the peak of the festive season.
Of course, you feel like I wish, there are those feelings of I wish I was home with them. But again, work comes. I will not say work comes first, but in this instance, you may say work comes first. Because again, this work must be done, and it must be done by someone.
But what is the bigger picture on why journalists have to work during the festive season?
That everybody, wherever it is they're enjoying, in the evening, mid-morning, lunchtime, they all tuned their radios and TVs to just keep abreast of what is happening. Somebody has to do it. So we are here doing it and wishing you all.
As you celebrate, remember that one person undertaking essential services in your neighborhood. It could be that security guard, gateman, nurse, or indeed the journalist across the road.
Christmas njema kuni nyote watazamaji wetu wa Darubini ya Channel 1.
Parsai Frederick, Prime Edition.
Now, police in Kakamega are detaining a 33-year-old man suspected of having collaborated with his brother to assault and later on kill their 36-year-old kin. The victim is reported to have come back home with a piece of meat that he bought after winning cash in a gambling game. He handed over the half-kilo piece of meat to his siblings and proceeded to, just have a rest by his mother's grave. He then broke into funeral songs to the chagrin of his siblings who assaulted him using clubs and a sword. And that is what led to his death. His body was transferred to the Kakamega mortuary. Police say that the main suspect behind the murder, Jacob Adanje, is still on the run.
Mimi vile nilijaribu kutetea, Boniface akanigeuka akaanza kunifuata na chuma. Nilijaribu kunyang'anya ilikuwa rungu, lakini chuma nilijaribu kunyang'anya ilinishinda kunyang'anya na nguvu. Boniface akanifuata na mimi nikakimbia.
Kaniambia ati watoto wadogo wamepika mwenzao mkubwa wamemuua. Nilishtuka, nilishangaa.
Si kupikwa, ni kufunjwa. Mkono imefunjika, hii ingine imefunjika.
Disturbing report, that one. But let's move on now. Early Childhood Development, ECD, primary and secondary schools will reopen for the first time in January the 8th. Mark that date, January the 8th of 2024. In a statement, Cabinet Secretary, Education, Ezekiel Mashogu said that Form 1 students will report to school on the 15th of January. Here is our reporter, Abdiaziz Hashim, with the details.
Just after the festivities, all field officers in the Ministry of Education have been directed to report to their duty stations to ensure the inception of the 2024 school calendar is well implemented. In a statement on Monday, Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu said early childhood development ECD, primary and secondary schools will open in the first week of January, while Form 1 students will report to their new institutions on January 15th. On Friday last week, the Ministry of Education announced a raft of changes in the competency-based curriculum CBC following recommendation by the Presidential Working Party on education reforms. The changes will take effect when schools reopen. Learning areas for lower primary were reduced from 9 to 7, while upper primary will have 8 learning areas, down from 10, as learners in junior secondary school JSS undertake 9 subjects as opposed to their previous 14. Under the new structure, there will be no optional subject areas for the junior secondary school learners. The total lessons per week have been reduced to 41 from 45. Machogu at the same time urged parents and guardians to embrace the parental responsibility and guide their children during the festive season. He said most children go astray at this time due to peer pressure. Abdiaziz Hashim for Prime Edition.
Well, at least 70 people were killed on Christmas Eve at the Al-Maghazi refugee camp, that's in central Gaza, in the latest Israeli airstrike. According to Gaza's Hamas-run health ministry, the death toll is likely to rise as civilians remain trapped under the rubble. The Israeli military has, however, said that it is looking into the reports. The recent developments come amid Pope Francis' appeal for peace in the Middle East, as he presided over a Christmas Mass on Sunday at St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican.
With continued calls for a ceasefire between Israel and Gaza, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Sunday said the war had come at a very high price for his country. The Israeli military confirming that more than a dozen soldiers have been killed in Gaza since Friday, bringing the death toll for the ground offensive to 156 since the inception of the war on 7th October. Meanwhile, the Palestinian Health Ministry in Hamas claims that 70 people were killed on Sunday evening in the Al-Maghazi refugee camp in the most recent Israeli airstrike, which accounts for more than 20,000 people killed, with 54,000 injured in Gaza since the war started. The health ministry has described the Sunday evening attack as the most lethal since the start of the conflict in early October. The Israeli military has, however, said it had received reports of the incident at Maghazi camp and is looking into it. Pope Francis has weighed in on the ongoing war, saying Jesus' message of peace was being drowned out by the war. He called for peace in the Middle East. Doreen Arange for Prime Edition.
How are you, Kenyans? My name is John Jacob Curieth. I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I bring you the 9 p.m. news on Wednesdays and Sundays. I also serve in the police quarters. I want to wish you the very best. Be careful on the roads. Make merry but carefully. God bless.
Unangoja nini? Namna ya kucheza Lucky Game sasa imerahisishwa. Dial *570# na 31st of December magari haya mawili na mtangaza mshindi. Ni rahisi. *570#.
In a world filled with uncertainty, there is one thing we can always count on: the power of compassion and generosity. Every day, families in Kenya face unimaginable challenges and hardships. They struggle to put food on the table, provide shelter for their loved ones, and access basic health care. But today, you have the power to make a difference. By just contributing 1 shilling and 50 cents from your airtime, your generosity can provide access to sanitary pads, nutritious food, clean water, education, and life-saving medical care to those who need it most. To support this cause, please tune in to your favorite radio station under the KBC umbrella for step-by-step instructions on how to subscribe. KBC Helping Hands. Together, we can make a difference and bring hope to those in need.
Welcome back. Let's now look at the end year health item here for you. The year is 2023. That year saw several changes instituted specifically in the health sector, with most of them geared towards catalyzing the attainment of the universal health care. The assenting of the 4 healthcare bills and the deployment, remember, of over 100,000 community health promoters that was launched by His Excellency the President was one of the highlights of the health sector. Our reporter Nancy Okware had a sit down with Public Health and Professional Standards Principal Secretary Mary Mudhoni. Let's now listen to the report that she filed earlier today.
Kenya is in the process of shifting focus from curative to preventive and promotive care. It is a mode that has been hailed as affordable, as it begins at the community level to either arrest diseases early or prevent them. Public Health and Professional Standards Principal Secretary Mary Mudhoni says that part of this entails basic practices by the public.
Preventive is what I can do myself. Afya yangu, jukumu langu. That I will be able to keep my compound clean so that the bushes around my household will not attract mosquitoes that will bite me and I get sick of malaria. That I'll keep a high level of hygiene in my household so that I don't get cholera. So waterborne diseases, that I'll treat my water, or I will boil my water so that I don't get sick. That I will take my child for vaccination and immunization at the right time and the right doses.
The rollout of the 100,000 community health promoters during the Mashujaa Day celebrations on the 20th of October was one of the steps geared towards cementing primary care. Each of the community health promoters dispatched to different parts of the country is armed with a kit that enables them to conduct basic tests and manage minor ailments at home.
They will come to your household. They will measure your blood pressure, blood sugar. They will remind the caretakers on when they need to take their children for vaccination. They will share with you the nitty-gritties, the small details of lifestyle diseases. And they will be able to equally encourage people in terms of climate change issues, plant more trees, because if we do not take charge of our climate change issues, then we will get diseases that come out of that, especially the respiratory diseases.
One community health promoter is tasked to serve 100 households and is paid a monthly stipend cost shared by the national and county governments. On the 19th of October 2023, President William Ruto signed into law 4 key healthcare bills. They are the Primary Healthcare Act of 2023, the Digital Health Act of 2023, the Facility Improvement Financing Act of 2023, and the new Social Health Insurance Act of 2023. It will replace the National Health Insurance Fund, and in its place, the Primary Healthcare Fund, Social Health Insurance Fund, and the Emergency, Chronic and Critical Illness Fund will be established.
The lowest level, that is the level 2, people will not be paying when they go to the health facility. Then when you get to level 3, then you're required to produce the social health card, where you pay 300 shillings to cover yourself. Your social health insurance card be depleted. You'll not be told you do not have money for screening or anything, and you have a chronic illness or a long-term illness, then we will plow to the chronic illness fund. Therefore, that means even people with cancer, people who need dialysis, they can still be treated even if their card does not allow them.
On the other hand, the Digital Health Act will focus on making hospitals paperless.
Is supposed to intertwine, interlink, interrelate data into our health facilities, that we will not be walking around with the quota exercise book that we used to do before. You will not be going to a health facility and keep repeating stories of where you're suffering from.
The bill signed into law by President William Ruto will usher a paradigm shift in the legal and institutional framework for healthcare in Kenya.
The attainment of universal health coverage has remained elusive over the years. However, with a legal framework already in place, the government is confident that it will get it right this time round. Nancy Okware, Spotlight 2023.
Again, the year 2023 has been characterized by changing weather patterns, from extremely high temperatures at the beginning of the year to extremely wet and rainy periods towards the end of the year. Reports from different parts of the country indicate that loss of property as well as lives caused by drought and floods. As the curtain falls on the year 2023, Sarafina Robi takes us through the effects of climate change in the country.
The 2023 unrelenting drought that gripped most parts of the country early in the year was one of the worst droughts in 40 years, after a period of failed rainy seasons. This left the country with acute food and water shortage, leading to loss of livestock and lives, especially in arid and semi-arid lands, and a disease outbreak. This prompted the National Drought Management Authority to call for urgent support towards pastoralists. Some of the most affected were Garissa, Isiolo, Marsabit, Samburu, Tana River, Baringo, Turkana, Kajiado, Kilifi, Meru North, Narok and West Pokot. The effect of drought had a trickle-down effect, leading to school dropouts.
Nilimaliza class 8. Nikapata 292. Babangu akaniambia, sasa juu unaona hakuna Kenya naweza kufanyia. Sina pesa, sina mbuzi, sina ng'ombe, hakuna Kenya, sina mbele wala nyuma. Nikamwambia basi mimi sipeani juu mimi bado ni mdogo na sijui kwenda kujitegemea kwa mzee.
According to the EU, the global mean temperature from January to October 2023 is the highest on record, 1.43 degrees Celsius, above the 1,850 to 1,900 average. This has put 2023 on track to be the hottest year ever. As the year progressed, different organizations, including the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, warned of El Niño following a 3-year La Nina. The Kenya Meteorological Department said that this season's El Niño will be compared to the one experienced in 1997. Despite doubts and questions from many Kenyans, the rains would finally come, pounding and wreaking havoc across the country. The onset of the 2023 March to May long rains varied across the country. While most areas experienced an early to normal onset, some parts of the southern Rift Valley and the coastal cluster had a delayed onset of 2 to 4 decades. Areas of particular concern included Mandera, Garissa, Wajir, and Tana River in northern Kenya, where communities have long displayed resilience in the face of water scarcity and hunger during droughts. There was no respite for most of the areas that had early experienced drought, as the floods also came with diseases.
Rais kama amiri jeshi mkuu ametoa jeshi la kitaifa, Kenya Defence Forces, kung'ang'ana na hii maneno. Ndege zote za kijeshi malori yote ya kijeshi, gari zetu zote za polisi na serikali yote. Hakuna kazi nyingine tunafanya, tumesimamisha kazi ni kushughulikia wale ambao wameathirika.
This equally led to the loss of life and property.
Na sehemu nyingi ya Tana Delta watu wamebebwa na wamesombwa na maji.
This will call for mitigation measures.
Sisi tumeumia kabisa na maji. Na hatujui sasa kama tuko na serikali, kama kuna serikali, hebu akuja watuangalie sisi maslahi ya watoto wetu, hata mahali pa kukulia ni shida.
Sasa vitu yangu yote iko wapi? Kwa hapa. Meenda tu na watoto na mbuzi kubwa, meenda kwa watu.
The changing weather pattern in 2023 has been attributed to adverse climate change. Seraphine Robi for Spotlight 2023.
Karen Maragwet Kibet is on standby to bring us the sports this 25th day of December.
Unangoja nini? Namna ya kucheza Lucky Game sasa imerahisishwa. Dial *570# na 31st of December magari haya mawili na mtangaza mshindi. Ni rahisi, *570#.
Get ready for the captivating return of the FKF Premier League, exclusively on KBC. Brace yourself for the thrill of football as 18 teams battle it out for glory. Every week, KBC brings you not one, but two heart-pounding matches, delivering the best football action right to your living room. The stakes are higher than ever. The league champion takes home a handsome prize of 5 million shillings and also earns the honor of representing Kenya in the prestigious CAF Champions League. Feel the adrenaline, experience the suspense, and join the roar of the crowd as we celebrate the return of Kenya's football legacy. The FKF Premier League, live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1 and KBC radio stations. Save the date, mark your calendars, and get ready for the ultimate football spectacle. Coming to you live only on KBC. KBC, your true sports partner.
Welcome back. Merry Christmas to you and your loved ones. My name is Karen Kibet. Let's now take a look at what's making headlines in the world of sports. The FKF Premier League fixtures will resume early next year with 4 rounds of 17 matches on the card. Second-placed Posta Rangers will welcome defending champions Gor Mahia at Kasarani Stadium, while Bandari will host Nzoia Sugar at Mbaraki Stadium.
John Kamau charges Posta Rangers will face league leaders Gor Mahia in one of the opening fixtures scheduled for January 6th next year. Posta Rangers, who are second on the log, 5 points behind league leaders Gor Mahia, have lost 3 matches and won 8 from 16 outings. Wow! On the other hand, Jonathan McKinstry charges have 34 points and are unbeaten with 9 wins and 7 draws. In other matches, 6th placed Bandari will host Nzoia Sugars, who are at the bottom of the FKF Premier League table. Nairobi City Stars will lock horns with Talanta FC, while Shaban FC, who are at the relegation zone, will face an uphill task when they face Muhoroni Youths at Raila Odinga Homa Bay Stadium. King Orimwangi for Prime Edition Sports.
The government has emphasized on the need to support talent and skills in sports. Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has affirmed government's commitment to support the youth, nurture and grow their talents across the country. He also highlighted the benefits of monetizing talent as a means of empowering the youth, job creation and contributing to economic growth. Mudavadi was speaking when he presided over the second edition of Elijah Lindonde Super Cup at Buhungu Stadium in Kakamega. This year's final pitted Kakamega Homeboys against FC Leopards and Christmas Eve Ingo Derby.
Mwaka ujao kuna Olympics kule France na pia kuna All Africa Games katika Accra, na hii itakuwa nafasi nzuri sana ya vijana wetu ambao ni wamefuzu kuingia kwa zile tournament kutupatia heshima na sifa katika hizo tournaments.
Rigoma FC are the winners of Nyamira's Super 8 tournament after seeing off Getasho FC 1-0 in a closely contested final played at Ikonge Township grounds. The winners walked away with a trophy and a cash prize of 50,000 Kenya shillings.
Kevin Ondari analeta ndefu kata chukua tena wanagetaji.
The lone goal was scored by Nathan Mayani as Rigona FC won the Super 8 tournament sponsored by Extreme Sport Limited in collaboration with Nyamira FKF branch. The winner walked away with a trophy and a cash prize of 50,000 shillings.
People are so happy, people are feeling the extravaganza, and we promise them that this is just the beginning. We'll have a series of these events going forward, at least to have these every annually. We'll be having the Nyamira Super 8 tournament.
First runners-up, Getacho FC, were awarded 30,000 shillings, while the second runners-up, Ikonge Township FC, pocketed 20,000 shillings.
When we engage these guys, this young generation in the field, it's one way of limiting the challenge of drugs. And for those players who use drugs, I don't think whether we sensitize them on how to go about it.
Ikonge Township FC defeated Katakata FC 3-2 through post-match penalties in the third-place playoff match. The top teams also received football balls and uniforms from the sponsor Extreme Sports Limited. 38 teams from Nyamira County took part of the tournament.
The FKF Women Premier League fixtures will resume early next year. Soccer Assassins will host Kenya Police Bullets in the opening match of the new year 2024.
Francis Muhabe's side Soccer Assassins will host Kenya Police Bullets in their 7th match of the FKF Premier League on 6th January next year. The Assassins have not played most of their Premier League matches like other teams since most of their key players received call-ups for national assignments. At the matches on card next month, league leaders Vihiga Queens will launch their New Year campaign at home against Kibera Soccer Ladies. Zitex Sparks will visit Nakuru City Queens, while Wadadia FC battle Ulinzi Starlets FC. For Prime Edition, I'm Sila Onyango.
Manchester United will be looking forward to bounce back to winning ways when they take on third-placed Aston Villa on Tuesday at Old Trafford. In other matches, Liverpool visit Burnley as Newcastle United host Nottingham Forest.
Manchester United, who have been recording mixed results in the previous matches, are confident that they are in a good position to get back to winning ways. United have won 38 of their 56 matches against Aston Villa, drawing 13 and losing 5. Manchester United defender Diogo Dalot is available again, having served a one-match ban. Anthony Martial and Rafael Varane could both return after illness, but this game is likely to come too soon for Harry Maguire. Aston Villa defender Pau Torres might be fit despite continuing to nurse an ankle injury. Matikash and Boubacar Kamara are both suspended, while a calf problem is likely to keep Yuri Telsman out.
And those are all the sports stories we had for you on this 25th of December. I do wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year in advance. My name is Karen Kibet. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place with more sports news. I hand you back to my colleague Tom Mboya for more.
That's right. Marakwet will be back here tomorrow, same time, same place. On behalf of the Prime Edition team this Christmas, I want to thank you. These are people who sacrifice to make sure that you are updated. My name is Tom Mboya. On behalf of everybody, including Lensa Odingo, it's a Merry Christmas. Good night from Kenya.